Hello, I'm Steve Weber, the host of Book Cheapskate. We're running down the top free Kindle books featured today on bookcheapskate.com. Happy Saturday, everyone. It's October 18th, 2025. As always, I'm joined by my co-host and bookworm sidekick, Cassandra. Good morning, Cass.
Good morning. Ready to dive into today's picks? We've got quite the mix.
We really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's stack is pretty wild. We're talking everything from ancient epics to, well, dragon shifters. So our goal, as always, is to give you the lowdown, quick and thorough, on the best freebies out there.
And to maybe find some interesting connections between them.
Exactly. Okay, let's kick things off with book number 1. It's a Mumbai murder mystery, Temple Hill Book 1 by SHROFF-SHAH, MEETI. Genre is amateur sleuth mysteries.
Right. And this one, it takes that classic murder mystery setup, but plants it firmly in modern high society in Mumbai.
So the premise feels familiar. Our main character, Radhi, she's back home in Mumbai, dealing with a failed relationship, writer's block, the usual stuff.
Yeah, kind of a tough spot. And then, bam, her best friend's father is found dead in his study. Initially, it's ruled a suicide.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
Always. The hook here, and what makes it fascinating culturally, is this idea that in Temple Hill, this really posh area, loss of face is seen as way more devastating than actual loss of life. That's a direct quote highlighted in the background material.
Wow, okay, so that completely changes the motivation, doesn't it? It's not just about finding a killer, maybe.
Exactly. It's about digging under the surface of these diamond-studded prayer meetings and lavishly catered pure-veg brunches, as the description puts it. The pressure to maintain appearances is immense.
So the clues Roddy follows are probably tied into that, like who's breaking the facade.
Precisely. You've got the suspicious, surly cook, the timid young maid people on the fringes who might see the cracks, and then there are these tiny details that just don't fit the suicide narrative. Well, the victim was apparently really excited about his grandchild just hours before he died. And then there's this lingering question about a second cup of tea found on his desk. Who drank it? It disrupts the neat picture.
Huh. Sounds like a really atmospheric read, especially with the monsoons setting in, adding to the mood, digging into secrets beneath the glitz.
Yeah, it uses the cultural setting to really amplify the stakes of a familiar genre.
Okay, let's pivot completely. From Mumbai high society to the American West. Book number 2 is The Mountain Man's Mail Order Surprise. It's Iron Creek Brides, Book 1 by Carla Gracie. And the genre, inspirational Western mail-order bride romance.
Quite a shift. This one leans into that promise of love is always the reward, even when circumstances are, well, pretty desperate.
Desperate how? Tell us about the characters.
So you've got Garrett Harding. He's an orphan, was raised by the Chippewa tribe, so he feels caught between their world and the world of the Iron Creek settlement. He's basically lived a solitary life and is looking for, companionship.
Okay, a lonely mountain man type.
And
the bride.
That's Katie Jones, and her situation is dire. She's a widow trying to escape her town after a deadly pandemic hit. Plus, her family disowned her because of what they called a rebellious marriage.
Jeez. So the mail-order bride thing isn't exactly a romantic whim for her?
Not at all. It's painted as a necessity, like her only way out, fast. But the interesting part is the contrast. She undertakes this really difficult, fearful journey. Garrett. And he's described as being incredibly kind, welcoming, supportive right from the start. It really leans into that inspirational angle, finding safety and acceptance when you least expect it, even if the arrangement starts out purely practical.
Finding a safe harbor. That theme actually connects nicely in a very different way to a couple of our later books. Maybe we should talk about Book 3 and Book 5 together. They both seem to explore some intense dynamics.
Good call. Yeah, let's look at Elizabeth and the Clan of Dragons by Ava Mason, that's Book 3, and Tempted, the Sea Dragons of Amber Bay book by Zoe Ashwood, which is Book 5.
Right. Book 3 is a Wolf and Dragon Shifter series, paranormal romance. The tagline is pretty intense. They took me because I'm theirs.
Whoa. And Book 5 is also paranormal werewolves and shifters romance set in Amber Bay, Alaska. Both seem to involve multiple potential partners for one protagonist.
Exactly. This fated alpha dynamic in Book 3 and the 3 hot sea dragon shifters in Book 5 point to this big trend, right? The reverse harem, or as you called it, the poly-fated mate trope.
Precisely. And it's worth asking why this is so popular right now. In Elizabeth and the Clan of Dragons, the protagonist is a wolf alpha herself, powerful, but she's running for her life and gets trapped by 4 dragon shifters.
4, okay. And they claim she's their fated mate.
Right. They offer protection from outside monsters, but the real tension seems to be internal, what these 4 demanding protective shifters will awaken in her. The idea of being owned by dragons.
So it's like ultimate protection, but also maybe ultimate submission or transformation.
Kind of. It taps into this fantasy of overwhelming security and devotion, but multiplied. It's not just one soulmate, it's a whole team, a clan. And in Tempted, Book 5, the setup is a bit different, but plays on similar themes.
How so? That one's in Alaska, right? Cozy cabin, remote location.
Yeah, the protagonist is hiding out, and she can't stop thinking about these 3 gorgeous guys who happen to be sea dragon shifters. But there's a town mystery. People are wary of strangers.
She's got her own secret.
She's a witch, and nobody knows. So while she's trying to figure out the town's secrets and deal with her attraction to these shifters, she's risking exposing herself. It's that blend of external mystery and intense internal chemistry.
Plus, the description mentions its explicit, steamy scenes. Definitely heating up Alaska.
It explicitly promises that, yes, sassy heroines, sexy sea dragons, the whole package. It's noted as a finished trilogy, too.
Okay, so that's the multiple mate dynamic. Let's switch gears again. How about finding power after, say, a messy divorce? Book 4, Witching for Grace by Deanna Chase. Humorous, cozy, paranormal romance.
Ah, yes. Midlife magic. This is all about Grace Valentine. She's 45. Her husband just ran off with his secretary.
Ouch. The classic.
Totally. But Grace, she doesn't just, cry into her Chardonnay. The description makes a point of saying she does not ignore the urge to hex her ex.
With?
Erectile dysfunction, specifically.
Nice. Okay, I like Grace already. So what's her challenge then, besides dealing with the ex?
She has to prove herself at a new rival real estate office. And her task is to sell the haunted properties in a place called Premonition Point.
Haunted houses and hot flashes? That's a lot.
Exactly. The humor comes from her juggling everything, the paranormal stuff, the very real symptoms of midlife, trying to navigate dating again, and fending off advances from a hot 34-year-old colleague.
It sounds like fun, especially the supportive friends aspect. The coven or ride or die female friendships.
Yeah, that's key in cozy mysteries, especially the paranormal ones. It emphasizes resilience, finding power, magical or otherwise, later in life, and the strength of female bonds. It's relatable even with the hexing.
Okay, from midlife magic to ancient epic poetry. This is maybe the biggest genre jump yet. Book 6, The Aeneid by Virgil.
Yep, straight into the classics. No shifters here unless you count the meddling gods and goddesses.
So why the Aeneid on a list of free Kindle deals today? Besides it being, well, a foundational text of Western lit.
Well, firstly, it's a reminder that classics are often available free. But thinking about why it was written and why it endured for over 2 millennia, that's interesting. It's not just a story, it's myth-making with a purpose.
Remind us, Aeneas is the main guy.
That's right. Trojan warrior, son of a goddess, Venus, and a mortal man. After Troy falls, he leads this fleet of survivors on this epic journey across the Mediterranean.
Lots happens, right? Big storm, the whole thing with Dido, Queen of Carthage.
Exactly. A famous, tragic romance. He even visits the underworld. But all these adventures, all the divine interference, it's all driving towards one specific goal.
Which is his destiny in Italy.
Precisely. To found the race that will eventually become the Romans. This epic wasn't just Virgil telling a cool story. It was basically commissioned by Emperor Augustus to create a glorious, divinely ordained backstory for Rome and, by extension, for Augustus himself. It connects Rome back to the heroes of Troy.
So it's ancient political propaganda wrapped in amazing poetry.
You could definitely see it that way. It's a masterful blend of myth, legend, history, and statecraft. A true classic in every sense. And understanding its context adds another layer.
Okay, fascinating context.
Yeah.
Now let's bring it back to the present day and back to romance. Our final book, Book 7. Time for You, Sunnybrook Farms, Book 1 by Renee Harless. Small town, age gap romance.
Right, we're back in contemporary territory. This one hits some popular tropes.
Like what?
Well, the setup is classic enemies to lovers, or maybe rivals to lovers, mixed with forced proximity. Our heroine comes home planning to buy and renovate her dream historic house.
But someone beats her to it.
Yep. It gets bought out from under her by this handsome older man, Colton Crawford, and he happens to be a retired, famous hockey player.
Ah, the hotshot athlete finding refuge in a small town. And he's older.
Right. And he's described as a towering, gorgeous Adonis with a killer smile, just to, emphasize the point. So instant tension, rivalry. But then they're forced to cohabitate somehow while renovating this house.
Okay, I see where this is going. Forced proximity ignites the sparks.
Pretty much. And there's a specific moment mentioned a freak storm hits, and they end up having to share one tiny bed in his metal camper.
The one-bed trope. Never fails.
It's a classic for a reason. It throws them together, breaks down barriers. The age gap apparently starts to matter less as the chemistry builds.
But there's a catch at the end of the description.
Yeah, it ends with this line. Until real life came knocking, reminding us what we walked away from. Which suggests there's more going on than just the sparks flying.
So they both have baggage, things they were escaping by coming to this small town.
Seems like it. The small town setting forces them to deal not just with each other, but probably with their own pasts and vulnerabilities. It adds a layer beyond just the age gap and the initial conflict.
Makes sense. Wraps up the romance with a bit more depth. Wow, okay, that's quite a tour. Mumbai mysteries, mountain men, dragon clans, hexing witches, Roman epics, and age gap romance.
A little something for everyone today, for sure.
Well, thanks for joining us today. And remember, if you want to download any of the books we've mentioned today for free from Amazon, visit us at bookcheapskate.com and you'll have all the links right there. But do it now. These books are free today, but might be back to full price tomorrow. Also, along with those freebies, the site has a ton of specials on deeply discounted Kindle books and also a heads up on the best new releases. Every morning, it's all brand new. Cass, we'll do it again tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you then, everyone.
Until then, keep on opening new worlds with great books without opening your wallet. And whatever you do, remember this. When you read,
your mind becomes its own kingdom.